Hi, I'm Paul Vacheski and welcome to today's video. We've been doing a series called Increasing Your Profits, and today's video we're going to be focusing on a fee that's called the Environmental and Regulatory Compliance Fee. Now the purpose of this fee is to replace the things we call it the cost of doing business. You know, there's so many things in the property management world that we just pay for as managers because it's always been deemed the cost of doing business. Well, why should we pay for it? Okay, so here's a couple of things that we can do to offset the cost. The purpose of this fee is to offset the cost of complying with laws and regulation, whether it's federal or state or local laws that cost us money to comply with. Things such as training our staff for fair housing, putting processes and implementing processes and database to comply with fair housing, the lead-based paint disclosures and the lead-based paint inspections, and the RRP rule and complying with all that, which is the repair, renovation, and paint rule. Local governments have business licensing or registry and inspections that may be required. All those things take time and money that we just consider in the property management world as the cost of doing business. Well, now we're thinking out of the box now and saying, you know, why should it be? Why should we pay for those things? So we're going to pass it on to the consumer, just like other companies do when costs go up for production. It's the same principle. So a couple of things here that we have to consider when we're implementing these things. And by the way, this type of fee is actually very common across the United States, and it's becoming more and more prominent as the fees and the expenditures go up. I typically see this fee, depending on the type of property and the, you know, is it pre-78 construction and those type of things, is anywhere from $5 to $50 per month per unit. That's a lot of extra money. You have a 100-unit apartment community that can generate a lot of extra income to comply with, you know, the cost of doing business. Make sure that this fee is clearly and expressly outlined or detailed in your lease agreement. Okay, without having it in your lease agreement, you can't charge it. Now, this is in addition and above and beyond whatever they pay for rent. So if their rent is $500 a month and you have a $25 per month compliance fee, then their rent is $500 per month, and the lease needs to clearly detail that the $25 extra is a fee that's due and payable upon the monthly rent. Okay, so we're going to detail it, separate and detail it in the lease itself. I would start, if you're going to do this, start it with any new lease agreements that you generate, and then as your renewals come due. And as you do your renewals, make sure that whatever state you're in, like here in Nebraska, we have to have that 30-day notice ahead of time and give them notice upon renewal. And then ensure that all the fees are clearly detailed in the management contract if you're a third-party manager. If you're a landlord, this really isn't a big deal. But if you're a third-party manager, these fees need to be clearly detailed in your management contract. And the biggest thing is, who gets to keep what? Who gets to keep it? Is it the owner? Is it you? Do you guys split it? And a lot of it, in my opinion, depends on who's responsible for implementing, enforcing, and monitoring these different issues. So if you, the manager, are in charge of making sure that the lead-based paint disclosures are done and kept and those type of things, you're responsible for maintenance, you have to get a contractor's license, so on and so forth. I think that you should be the one as the property manager to get to keep it. If the duties are split, maybe you split this fees. But however you end up doing that, it has to be clearly detailed in the management contract. Okay, I hope this video has been beneficial, and I would please give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down if you liked the video or you didn't like the video. Share this with your landlord and property manager friends or anybody you may be working with that are investors that may be landlords, so on and so forth. We're trying to get this channel and our blog out to the industry, those that are in the industry, so I'd really appreciate that. Until next time, happy landlording.